All right, so I slept in today. I don't have a video. We're going to be looking at some of the Dokkan community's takes, I guess. I didn't really ask for hot ones or bad ones. I'm sure knowing the community, a lot of them will be bad anyways. So I am just doing this, right, as an emergency video. Post anniversary, I have been feeling just a teeny tiny bit burnt out, so I have not been pushing myself too much, so it seems like, oh, I don't like recording these videos or things like that, right? I love Dokkan. Dokkan's it's very, very fun to cover here. And yeah, so I also do have these two pages put up. This is just for the actual, in case we need to view a kit of the character. And this is just in case I need to like look at the timeline or just a general look of how characters, are in terms of the release time. Because a lot of times Dokkan, well now especially with the sync, will be going off the JP Dokkan timeline rather than the global Dokkan timeline, just because, I mean, that's how it is, chat. I don't know what to tell you, but let's just hop right into things. Let's see what people are saying. A lot of times I ask for y'all's input in videos and things like that, just because it is always good to see what the general overall thought of things are in comparison to mine, right? So let's see here. We have 71 replies. Potara break is better than Vegito in longer events, is what Abu is saying. And there's this whole video we made about the Potara break as well, like with Abu on there. And let's just say it did not really go so well. Abu is using the Potara break bad? No, I think if you want to have fun and you're like, oh, I want to run a rotation of this Goku and this Vegeta, and I don't, maybe I want to just use these guys and not Vegito, that's fine, right? It's not like that's a, like, oh, yeah, kind of like not throwing, but you're throwing away like the strongest part about the unit very easily. But you could still very easily beat events with the Potara break for the Vegeta and the Goku here. Because Goku will have guard and 40% reduction. His defense will be high enough. Vegeta will stack up and, he's going to be good to go as well. I just like, when you can get Vegito out, obviously, but it's not even a question you should really entertain. Like, you stack up into Vegito and you're good enough. Because in most situations, Vegeta and Goku aren't going to need the Potara break to actually win. I would say maybe more so Goku could be in a little more of a dangerous spot. He only has the 40% reduction, so if he gets hit with like a really big damaging super attack, it could be a bit dangerous for him. But I don't think it's going to be like a situation we'll see often, especially if you're having him like a third slot floater or something like that. At least it's not something I run into where it's going to be that big of an issue. So yeah, no, Abu, you're wrong. You're just wrong, buddy. It's okay, Abu. I think we're gonna hide Abu here. There it is. That's the first hidden reply from Abu here. Let's refresh again because we got some extra replies here. AGL Vegito is still fun to use, and with the ever increasing damage bosses do, his conditioning gets easier to pull off. You just really love his transformation, activation, animation, and active skill. I thought you meant AGL Super Vegito when I first read this, but you're talking about the AGL LR Vegito Blue, right? Which I guess we can, I think if I bring up SS, will that bring it up properly? No, so I think this will bring it up properly. Yeah, you're talking about the AGL Blue Goku and Vegeta here. I mean, this is like fun to use. Me personally, I don't really think these guys are that fun to use anymore. I think when they came out, they're like, I wouldn't say unkillable, but they're like the best slot 1 unit in the game, which I think is something that people don't really like try. Like, people on release, this character was still really good because their base form is still really good, and they had a really strong leader skill. Like, this leader skill was insane. Like, this leader skill when they EZA, bro, I said that weird, like super class, imagine super class 170% or something. Not that it would be like anything super crazy, but like, whew, this could be a crazy leader skill, like 4 key 170% to any superclass ally. Then all these categories, like a stupid good leader skill. I guess getting 70% HP or less from the 5th turn, with how hard these bosses are hitting, I could see where it's like, yeah, because like if you fall under 70% HP for like Super Saiyan 3 Goku's transformation, then yeah, I think, you know, you could say, oh, this is not too bad to get at this point. But at the end of the day, it is an HP restriction that is just annoying. Unfortunately, this is not going to change when this guy actually gets an Extreme Z Awakening. I mean, what my opinion is what they should do is they should just add a line in the passive where on the 5th turn, either make their guard permanent. The guard, like, this intro sucks. This should all be permanent. Or they could give them like greatly stacking defense, then stacking defense here too. And then what they could do is, yeah, make the guard permanent. They have the 70% dodge on slot 1 easily. This going away wouldn't be the biggest deal ever, but it would be cool if they just have this, because like wanting another Future Saga character in the team, I'm sure when they EZA there'll be a lot of them, but yeah. They already have like a enemy restriction that they need, right? So I think easing up those conditions would be better. And then it's like worst case scenario, turn 7 with a Future Saga enemy or ally on the same turn is not the worst thing in the world. And they, what they could do if they wanted to be really funny is they could be like, on turn 5 from this character's entry turn, or starting with the 5th turn from this character's entry turn, once only they lose like 30% HP or something, and then it won't cause you to fall under like, I don't know, let's take a look here. So it's like you basically get the fusion guaranteed, where it's like, okay, this guy, does he not, I thought he heals you. Actually doesn't heal you because of this. But what if like they then just add a heal to this guy somehow? I guess it would suck when this right here, like, you know, if you have this active and then you can't get that anymore. But I mean, you still have this at the bare minimum. Like if this guy gives you a heal and then he just heals you to full anyways, so that even if you fall low HP, you just fuse and he heals you all the way. Like, I think that'd be pretty pog, but you know, that's just me. That's just me. You know, that's just. Anyways, right now being fun to use. I mean, that is like, that's your opinion. I don't agree with it, but I would say I like the transformation animation to the fusion and then the active skill. Both of those look really good. You like the Frieza side of Goku and Frieza over the Vegeta side of AGL Gogeta. Look, I am a defender of this character compared to most people. I think this character is doing more than people would give them credit for. But at the end of the day, this is stupid. Like, we can all agree this is a stupid condition that is unnecessary. This is not a necessary condition. And this is reliant on what the boss does. Now, I would say the boss is likely gonna super more often in slot 1 and slot 2. But that doesn't guarantee this will happen. And, you know, obviously when you are able to get Goku out, Goku's really good. But he's not super consistent because he wants Rainbow Key Spheres, but he doesn't make his own Rainbow Key Spheres, right? So, with that all being said, this character is more or less a more consistent character in these fights, right? Because if we're just talking about these forms, like these, like you can't, okay, how to explain it? Frieza later on in fights, you switch into Goku. But that's the Goku side of the card. If you keep this Frieza later in longer fights, he will still have that issue. Well, Frieza has a stronger support. This guy, I think, is just generally gonna be doing. Generally, I think he could do more damage. I think generally he's gonna be better defensively. I mean, I don't see it because no matter what, this Vegeta, like if we're talking about both of them at Rainbow level, neither of them are going to be dying in most situations. I mean, when Frieza has his damage reduction, could you say Frieza's better than the Vegeta here? I could see where you would come from with that, because Frieza does pretty good damage, right? The guaranteed crits, he could get like 4 super attacks in the turn. He does like actually considerable good damage and has this massive 77% support buff I don't really like the support that much. Like it is good in certain situations. This character, you know, it just depends on the HP condition, right? So I would not agree. If this guy's like always had a swoop pass swap, then I would actually probably agree. But no, I think no, I don't necessarily see it. I didn't mean to close that tab too. Okay, great. I just gotta reopen this one. I mean, people will look at that take and they're gonna get really mad. And yeah, no, I mean, this guy I would choose to use most situations out of this guy, right? Plus, like if we consider links and things like that too, leader skill, yeah. TCG Pocket is not gonna let us get top grossing as nearly often anymore. I mean, the thing about top grossing is that it's very finicky. Like with iOS top grossing, it's like very consistently updated to where it depends on when they drop stuff. Like TCG Pocket could come out with like the biggest, craziest thing for Pokemon, and it won't matter if they drop it 3 days after Dokkan's like Tanabata celebration. Like let's say Tanabata, you know, July 30th, right? Or June 30th, my bad. They drop Tanabata, and then it's like, oh my god, TCG Pocket is dropping something in, but it's in 2 days. It doesn't matter. Dokkan will hit top grossing. Dokkan will hit top grossing in that day, unless it drop at the exact same day and the exact same time. Then it's in trouble. But these games don't do that. Like, I feel like that doesn't really happen very often. Like it happens, right? But I think that people always will vastly overestimate like, oh, the Dokkan killer for top grossing, and they'll give out rewards anyways. Maybe it won't be like, you know, oh, top grossing reward, but like they will give out rewards in some other fashion to make up for the stones, right? Especially for a large celebration, they'll just be like, oh, here's a thank you reward for this, right? And Dokkan doesn't usually hit top grossing that much outside of that anyways. I guess I can see maybe from like, I guess this is also speaking from a JP point of view. Maybe from like a bunch of the global countries, it could hurt. I could see that, I guess, in that situation. The most hype possible tag character at the moment, we have Blue Gogeta and a Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. I mean, yeah, but will they do that? I don't know. I mean, it is exciting, but I don't like to get too excited over stuff that I feel like is not gonna be a very possible thing to happen. This would be really awesome as a tag character, don't get me wrong. I'm like, oh, I should also hide this, I think. Yeah. I don't. I don't know. Dokkan is really scared about giving nullifications to more characters. I mean, is that true? Like, okay, let's take a look here. Recent characters that released with nullification. I mean, this guy, you know, he has an easy A with it, so I don't really count him because he carried me out a long time ago. New characters with nullification. None of the new anniversary characters have had nullification. I don't think that means they're scared of it though. Super Saiyan 3 Goku is like, this guy just came out. Well, he's not technically nullifying, but it is nullifying, right? Well, actually, it's not really. It's just giving himself 44% reduction. It's kind of like a nullification though. I think you guys see what I mean. Let me actually go on the JP timeline. Let's see who else here would have a nullification. Slug doesn't. Janemba had it, but like Janemba is not like a new character. Broly doesn't have it. Super Saiyan Trio doesn't have it. Neither of these characters have it. A lot of these characters are just being, I mean, honestly, one thing is a lot of these characters start being invincible anyways. So that's a thing. Physical Rose Goku Black has a nullification against Ki Blast Supers, does he not? Like if we take a look here, I think it's the very last line right here. Yeah. Against a enemy's special move. I'm pretty sure this is just a Ki Blast super attack. Let's bring up Rose here. Super Saiyan Rose Goku Black. Yeah, Ki Blast super attack, great chance to nullify it. Which is very funny. Super Saiyan 3 Angel Goku from this year has a Ki Blast nullification. We saw that I guess Physical Gogeta Blue last year, you know, for the 9th anniversary has Ki Blast nullification. They don't really throw it out too often, and there's so many mechanics characters gonna have nowadays to where I'm not like, oh, you know, they're scared of it. It's just that, you know, they're not. They're doing a bunch of other like some like new worldwide characters are gonna have like some of the new mechanics and things like that, right? Compared to like, you know, the key blast nullification or whatever. I may be missing like a character or two that has like a key blast nullification, but I guess like for the past 2 months they haven't really released a new character with that one. But who knows? Maybe like Saiyan Day will have like some sort of nullification. You know, it'd be really cool if this guy had like a nullification. The Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta, man. I feel like maybe I should make a separate video talking about him, but I feel like they just like this guy is just 70% reduction as a defensive character, but like there's so many, like he has a scouter turn one, but there's so many abilities that a defensive character could have: dodge, guard, nullification, counter, right? At least super attack counters, right? Even like, you know, support defensively for other characters on the rotation. And it's like this guy only has one of them, and is, I don't know, I feel like he could have had something else with him, right? But I don't think this makes him scared. I think it's really stupid that this guy has this in his animation and he like in his card art and he doesn't actually do that. Okay, lots of takes here. People blaming AGL Super Saiyan 4 Goku for making the devs scared to make them better or stupid. Physical GT Goku came out 2 years ago. Yeah, we're playing Super Saiyan 4 for giving 2% only to 2 categories. Yeah, I think it's not Super Saiyan 4 Goku's fault. And even if they were scared, it's the dev's fault for designing the character in a way to make them scared of other characters releasing. Daima Vegeta, he's not even in a bad spot, and we don't know what other characters will come out later this year. There's been lots of situations where a character comes out and we're like, what is this character? And then they release like within the next like 2 months, another character comes out and is like, oh, this character's so much good. I think the prime example for that is Int Majin Vegeta. If we take a look at Int Majin Vegeta, he's like all the way, like he's so far back here, like all the way back in this year. This guy came out and is like, well, he kind of sucks, right? Because it's like he came out without a Trunks character, and then we see a few months later, you know who released Vegeta Trunks, and guess what happened to Int Majin Vegeta? He skyrocketed in terms of his usability, utility, things like that. I'm sure there's other characters that came out in a similar fashion where it's like we could tell, oh, they're gonna be building up to a certain thing and things like that. I mean, literally Super Saiyan 3 Great Ape Goku, we saw this guy come out in Giant Ape Power Leader skill. Very obvious they're gonna be buffing Giant Ape Power really a lot this year, and guess what? Giant Ape Power is already a very competitive team, one of the better teams in the game actually at this point. Even though at the beginning of the anniversary, it's a team that sucked, right? Demonic Power, they came out with the new Demonic Power category. Guess what? Oh, hey, they're buffing Demonic Power, uncontrollable power. Like, we've seen this happen so many times. We played the Song of Nats before. So, I think a character coming out on release, like, to me, this is like, at the same time, I don't know, I just said that they dropped the ball with him, and I think they still did, because at the end of the day, I think a character being reliant on another character is a stupid way of designing things, but we don't know exactly what's going to happen in the next few months. So that's why it's always safe to assume, like, it's like, it's safe to assume things could change, you know, at any time. Is one thing I would like to say, but that's why I would say, like, where people are blaming Super Saiyan 4 Goku for this, that's not true, because, I mean, maybe we get Super Saiyan 3 Daima Goku, and then he gives like mega support buffs, right? And then like, what if you get a Daima category, you get Glorio on here, like a Super Saiyan 3 Goku Mini, this guy, maybe Super Saiyan 4 Goku Mini gives like 10% damage reduction to Daima characters on the team or something like that, and then this character is like in a better spot. Doesn't change the fact that this character, it will be reliant on a character like that, but maybe he could be in a better team build so he could excel better. Maybe if we get a really strong Vegeta family category like team this year, and it's like there's a lot of multi-turn support going around, allows this guy to tank better, that's possible too, right? We have to wait and see. I would say as of now, this guy is, you know, more closer to a little bit of an underwhelming release, but I'm not gonna blame that on specifically this character because we don't know what's coming, right? That's kind of the whole point I'm trying to make. When Gogeta and Vegito are paired together, Gogeta's given better animations while Vegeto's given the better character. Well, better animations is, I would say, it depends. Like, I personally really like the Vegito animations better, actually. But I am also like a person who prefers Vegito over Gogeta. Like, in terms of like, oh, who am I gonna choose between the two? I like Vegito more. Gogeta's animations are so saucy though, so I may have to agree, Loki. Like, I don't know, Gogeta's that walk Gogeta does on his active skill is like, that's just so, it's so saucy. It's so like okay, this is cool, all right? I think the glitch effect at the end too is nice, but to me, I'm not going like crazy over this. This looks cool too. It's this when he does that just like, whew, oh my goodness. And I obviously love the reference here, and then the glitch effect right here. It just so peak. But then if we take a look at Vegitos here, there's a lot of things about Vegitos as well, right? If you take a look at this, I really love the beginning pose right here where he does a little Yosha pose, and then the camera not being able to move fast enough to keep up with Vegito in a second here. Like, you'll see, yeah, see, he moves faster than the camera right there, and it's just hard to keep up. And this kick is like, yeah, it's fine. I love the AGL Super Vegito reference though. I would say, yeah, this shot is so clean, and just, I'm sorry, I know a lot of people like the Gogeta one better, but this one is just this one is so disrespectful and so sick. This looks cool as well, but man, it's just the finger wave, bro. Like, you can't, like, come on. That one's just way too. That's so. Oh, they're both so cool, dude. Oh, okay. AGL Gogeta is underrated. His only real flaw is the base form. People got too used to Vegito's counters, but they don't. Okay, I've seen. I see where, like, people will read this and be like, what? Like, I think you're thinking about, like, you know, people are saying Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta is better than, like, this character. I think that's where the point is coming from. Super Gogeta is absurd. Nullifies, you know, negative effects. Support, you know, it's like, honestly, the support is the only thing where I'm like, it's fine, I guess. You can get up to 80% reduction plus the scouter. Like, he's just invincible. He's doing so much damage. This is the stupidest. Like, this might be just the strongest active in the game, honestly. It's just like it's a stupid active skill. It's a really dumb active skill, right? And then let me see here. People bring up AGL Goku frauding up, but you have the tech Vegeta die after Potara break and battle hardened foes. Minatos Goku has 20% chance to die. Vegeta in some scenarios has a 100% chance. People placing Gogeta at 4. Some people place him at 6. Well, 6, you're insane. Vaku is a win button if you can't get Gogeta. Yeah, I think like, in terms of the character overall, Vaku is really cool. Like, in comparison, in battle hardened foes, I think that the Gogeta card is better than the Vegito card. I just feel like there's more events where the Vegito is going to be able to excel, because, I mean, at the end of the day, I think that target mechanic and then into the counters is just too oppressive. But I could see, like, you're saying, oh, I like this guy, you know, better than this guy in battle hardened foes, because Vegeta with the Potara, like, Vegeta can die in battle hardened foes. I've seen that for sure. It's not like a super mega consistent thing to see that happen, though, I would say. I don't know if that means I'd call AGL Super Gogeta underrated, though. Let's see here. Biggest problem for the 10th anniversary is that Gohan, Go Frieza, and Vegeta have frustrating hits. Two of which are fixable with slight buffs, and Evo feels half-assed. Gohan hits like a feather for 5 turns, and Go Frieza for a turn, and the active is weak. So, okay, we'll take a look at these characters here. So, Gohan, Go Frieza, and, like, I think I see a lot of dislike for this Gohan, and I don't know why. Like, I've seen so many comments about this Gohan, and like, where mid damage for the first 5 turns. He hits like he does not hit like a feather. Like, I guess he doesn't have crits. I think that's one thing. Like, early on, he does not have the crits until turn 5. But do I personally care about that? I would almost say no, right? Um, he could do well 5 supers turn one, even at free dupe. Now, this right here is not a consistent thing you could really see happen, but the point of this guy is that he builds up, and then he has these turns where he starts to do like very consistent damage at like a pretty decent high level. My gripe with this character is that he loses all of his additionals. I mean, me personally, I would rather get rid of the active skill at 20 or the crit 24 key, keep it only on the active turn, like add guaranteed crits here on the active turn, get rid of this line, and then make him get a guaranteed additional super. That's what I would change personally, because I feel like him losing the additional makes his defense go lower. Like, I don't know. I feel like I there's not a situation where this guy I'm like, oh, I died because of this Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. Like, that doesn't really happen too often. Obviously, I think there's situations where every character can die, right? And then someone will respond to you with a screenshot of like, oh, actually, I died once with this guy, and he was on a 170% leader skill. His defense was debuffed the turn before, but it's a screenshot, so I'm not gonna tell you that. You know, I don't know. I personally just haven't, like, I think, and I've done a lot of runs with this character. I'm sure a lot of people also have also done a lot of runs with this character. This character is not a consistently dying character, right? Maybe his damage reduction could have been higher. That would be nice. But I'm not gonna be like, oh, this kills this character. And I saw this 20% reduction. I was also kind of like, but it turns out fine, right? This character, I think, is also better than people give him credit for, especially for battle hardened foes. But this right here, I think that's another thing. Maybe people don't really rate battle hardened foes at all, almost, and then they only focus on red zones, which I think is fair, because like red zone is gonna be likely the one that's going to be consistently buffed, and we're going to get other versions of red zones later out throughout the year, whilst battle hardened foes we probably won't get any more after like this anniversary is like actually officially done. This is a dumb design, though. I still think that this design is really stupid, so I can understand why people are frustrated with this character very much so. And then you said active skill is weak. Yeah, I think their active skill doesn't do a lot of damage. I feel like one reason could be because of this restriction. I think another reason could be this character, again, like he gets this here, but there's no like stacking attack or anything like that. The active skill greatly raises temporarily. I mean, maybe if Goku right here, like, you should be able to tag into Goku turn 1. I think that would fix all the issues with this character. So make their active skills just a turn 4 condition. I don't think that would be an issue either. Goku doesn't stack attack on his 18 key. Like, what if he stack on his 18 key too? You could switch into Goku turn 1 and on very long fights, you could just like have the actives go from Frieza hit like a nuke. That'd be awesome. But yeah, Blue Evolution Vegeta, I mean, again, I'm not gonna call him mid either. I feel like he's not necessarily half-assed. He just is a weird character. I saw why they were going with this guy, but I think what this guy really needed is like an active skill, just like something extra. But I wouldn't say that means his entire kit design is half-assed. I feel like I don't know. At the same time, I really don't like this added with medium chances. I feel like this should just be the attacks he does, or maybe make this like 15 attacks and 20 attacks, and then that'd be fine too over super attacks, because at least you know when you're gonna get these. This you can get turn 3, this you can get turn 8. Like, it's inconsistent, right? And I guess with the normals you could consider that too, but it's gonna be way less consistent, right? I don't know. I think frustrating kits. I could see why people would be frustrated with Goku, Frieza, and Vegeta. Gohan, I really don't understand personally. Tech gods are the best unit in the game. I mean, if you really want to say it, sure. Like, I think that any of the top 4 you could exchange between each other. I like the gods a lot, though. I personally really like the LR gods too. So, you know, You know, I would not stop you. You hate me? Wow, King Bukar. You know what? I'm hiding you, King Bukar. L King Bukar. Let's see. Giant Ape Power and GT Heroes missions suck. You do need very specific setups. Like if you don't have the Super Saiyan 3 Goku, I guess you could run GT Vegeta. I was GT Vegeta. Hello, Great Ape Vegeta. That would be good, right? So like, let's say you don't have Super Saiyan 3 GT Goku though. You run this guy. You could run these two EZAs. You run this guy. You as a friend, and then who's the other character you're running? I guess like Super Saiyan 4 Lemon Brick or Vegito. But this team still needs help for sure. And like you could have low dupes for some of these characters and you'll struggle a lot more. I think especially if you don't have this guy, it's like this mission gets significantly harder, obviously, even with just him as a friend lead. If you're missing like one of these two, the mission would also still get significantly harder. GT Heroes as well is very similar to that, where if you're missing, I mean, honestly, GT Heroes is probably just a way harder mission at the same time too, because like, okay, you have these four here, and then I think these two, like this guy's like, this guy could run them, but like they're also kind of, maybe. I think they're good though. Yeah, so I can see struggles with that. Gogeta will age better than Vegito. I don't agree with that at all. I think because this guy is 90% damage reduction. 50, 20, 20. This guy just has guard and high defense. This guy takes more damage by a considerable amount than this guy already. So this character is going to age significantly better, I would almost argue. They also have a better leader skill overall, right? I mean, this guy, you could get all the other Gogetas on the 220%. And right now, I would use this character as a leader over the Vegito character because Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta is on the 220. LR Gods are on the 220, right? There's a lot of these characters that are on this fusion category team that you want to go ahead and get the 220 Go tanks. SR Super Gogeta is really good. A lot of people run the Tech Gogeta. Well, this character, you know, a lot of these recent units, you know, Great Vegeta, don't fit that full buff or the category at all. So I can see that point in terms of the leader skill right now. But this character is definitely going to age better. 100%, right? I think Goku at the end of the day is... I could see the Goku aging better than the Vegeta side. Especially with the Ghost Usher. But yeah. And then the fusions are... They're like invincible. Like, the fusions are good. But yeah, no. I don't see where this guy wouldn't age better than the Gogeta side. Or the Vegeta, like from the Gogeta, right? Because like with this character... For 3 turns, you could... I guess like, yeah, you could just keep him on rotation. He's invincible. He doesn't die. Like, how hard does super attacks have to hit for his 90% damage reduction? Like what, 2+ mil defense? Like, you would have to be hit with like a 15 mil super attack for this guy to die. Pretty much, right? Like even like a 10 mil super, he's still taking basically nearly double digits from that because. Obviously 90%, that would be a million damage that the super does. This guy's over 2 mil defense. And guess what? He's taking 0 damage because he has 2 mil defense minus the 1 mil that the boss would actually do. So like, yeah. Well, it's the Gogeta side. Like, it doesn't, he just has the guard. And let's just say, yeah. EZA AGL Super Saiyan 2 Gohan was more fun on release than physical Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. Now we wait another 6 years. I can't agree because you could barely, you had to force yourself to get the Super Saiyan 2 Gohan out. This guy is always Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. In terms of being more fun, I don't agree. This active skill, by the way, is just turn 5, and you're always gonna see it. Every single fight, you're gonna see this. Except Battle Hardened foes, you might not see it. But red zones, you're always gonna see this, right? And look how good this is, by the way. You can't look at this, tell me this voice acted, and then just tell me AGL Super Saiyan 2 Gohan were fun. Subjectivity, sometimes it just gets to a point where you're still just wrong. I'm sorry, dude. Like, you can't look at this. Hello. You can't come. And then the KO screen is okay. I would say one thing about the KO screen is that the AGL Gohan's KO screen is better. That doesn't mean the existing one is bad though, but this KO screen, man. I mean, okay, we can play the Ultra Super too, because this is more so based off the anime, I believe, is what basically how it works. This still looks quite good, right? Definitely could have gone a redo for it, obviously, as we just saw. We did get a remake for it, but this still looks very, very good. And then him just finishing Cell off, and then the KO screen. This is awesome. This is a great KO screen, right? But yeah, no, small attack stat. It is a small attack stat. No, that's kidding. What is the exact attack stat, right? Can't math. 2,147,483,648. Devilman. You know, Devilman, he can't one-shots. From what I was told, he actually cannot one-shot the blue Goku Red Zone, I think. Which is actually kind of funny. But yeah, no. No. I don't agree with that. Oh, I didn't see this. The last Red Zones we got are some of the most boring ones. No gimmick, no sauce, no nothing, just bland fights. People do once, never touch again. I mean, I think they're cool. Like, they're just build-up fights. But I feel like, to me, yeah, they're not like, you know... I like fights where you're fighting a bunch of different enemies. Is the fights I like. Fights where it's just like one phase, one enemy will always be more boring than a lot of different fights, right? Not fun design, going from multiple supers to one-hit wonder. Who's done dirty? I want to say done dirty, but yeah, I think him... That's what I literally said. Him losing an additional. I think he should have kept at least one additional. Because, like, after that, you don't really even see the 12 key too often. This 12 key super attack animation looks pretty good. And then it's like he has this little smile thing that he's from the thumbnails. Like, this 12 key animation is pretty sick. Man, his animations are so good. And a little kick right there. I never even noticed the little smirk he has like that. Oh my goodness, he's raw. Mayonnaise lasagna. You're getting hit. Your list that the Truth DT commented on generally seem fine. The spots are changed, but there's not smoking gun. Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks feels too low. Let's see. The Kings, yeah, I mean, I think this is inarguable. S+. I also had Super Saiyan, like this. I had, like, this is the same here. Super Saiyan Trio isn't in a much better spot. I just, you know what I would do? I would switch Super Saiyan Trio down to this tier, and I would put Gotenks up to this tier. I think I would also move Janemba up. And then, I think the rest is like, it's, to me, I'm like, yeah, the rest is fine. Nama Goku, people are saying he's in a better spot. I haven't used him after the Eclipse yet. I still need to. Dude, there's so many things I have to do. They're just overwhelming. But yeah, no, I think I like that. I would, again, there are some spots you would change, like Truth said. Yeah, this is a fine list. I don't mind it at all. Good job. Ready Vegeta's top 6, right behind Beast Gohan. So you're saying the fusions, all 4 of them, and then Beast at 5. I think I would put Super Saiyan 4 Goku at 5, then Greater Vegeta, then Beast. But if you like Beast over Greater Vegeta, I think that's fine too. Gohan is way better defense-wise compared to what you heard from him. He's not AGL Gogeta, but he's not a fish. I mean, is he not just better defensively than the AGL Gogeta? Like, well, okay. Should clarify. The Vegeta side of AGL Gogeta, right? This guy. I feel like he's better defensively, is he not? I think so. Because defensive-wise, these characters will be roughly the same, no? Let me take a look here at the numbers again. Because 258% start of turn, the build up, this 158% when receiving an attack. So that's, yeah, that's a lot. And then this guy has 400%. No, he has 500% start of turn, but just 100% multiplicative. They have the same super attack. Well, actually, this guy only has 50%. But this guy has a 20% reduction, which goes a long way too. I feel like they should be around the same level, but this guy does have the damage reduction. So if anything, I would assume this guy would be better defensively than that Vegeta. But yeah, he is better defense-wise than people give him credit for. Putting anything on the level of the 4 fusions is a brain attack. I mean, would there be another character I would put there? No. Tapion deserves the Dokkan Fest. Intro could be him coming out of the music. Those tease his theme. Yeah, and then this character getting an easy A. Yeah, I think I could smell a Dokkan Fest Tapion this year, for sure. I'm wrong about the gods being better than Gogeta 4. That's, at the end of the day, your opinion. I feel like I like the gods a little better. Sometimes I like the Gogeta Super Saiyan 4 a little better. It's situational. It is very situational, right? But yeah, I feel like you could argue between these two. And then you could argue between these two. I like these two at 1 and 2. And then these two at 3 and 4. I almost had the Super Saiyan 4s above the gods. I think it really comes down to very minute details. I just really like the double rainbow orb chanting these characters have compared to the Scouter and then the Counter. Like, the Counter is really good, but both of them are invincible when you transform it. Like, my experience is you transform into these characters and then the fight's already over. You don't come back to the next turn. So you don't, but at least again, my experience, I don't see these guys on turns where this is run out 9 times out of 10 times. And then during that turn, this character is double orb changing. He's doing more damage for me personally. I mean, if it's a situation where Gogeta is able to get 2 of these out, and then, or now let me see, he's able to get a stack from the turn before, which does happen sometimes, right? I guess, yeah, you could see that for Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta and the gods, where you transform them a turn early, you get the stack up, and then like these characters, like Gogeta Super Saiyan 4's counter would hit so hard, but also with the counter not like, okay, I'm thinking here, this 100% attack stack would help just in general. Like if it was a thing of, I would say, I don't know, because would you not get more attack from just keeping this guy stacked in his base form for the extra turn? I don't know, from the counter, like how much damage the counter does. I think really depends on between these two sometimes. I guess this makes Gogeta like more or less susceptible against, you know, stealing, stunning. Yeah, I don't know. I think it really doesn't matter between these two. Like, you could say one is better than the other. It's up to what you like. You're a Dokkan dev. Okay, if you're a Dokkan dev, you'll make units that are in Giant power at Power Beyond Super Saiyan, more dodge and guard, or dodge and low damage reduction. Have AGL Super Saiyan 4 Goku make them great. Not make them bad, and have Super Saiyan 4 Goku make them decent. Just low damage reduction, huh? I mean, it depends on how they want to do it. Not every character that will release for these teams will be meant for these teams, though. Blue boys within the universe of Survivor Saga red zones are useful. They are just weak enough before Kefla Cataplasma rolls around to get Vegito out. Vegito's dodge, turn, and attack debuffs are very helpful for Endurance or Topo. They can comfortably live. Final what? So you're saying the blue boys in the universe Survival Saga red zones are useful because they're so long and they get hit hard enough to get AGL Vegito out. Vegito has his dodge turn. Attack debuffs can help against Endurance and Topo, which those phases can be attack debuffed, huh? Let me double check with Topo. I don't recall at the top of my head Topo being attack debuffable, but I guess he might be able to be. Topo here, because I saw Jiren was able to. I don't remember from Topo at the top of my head. He cannot be attacked, debuffed, but I guess the Jiren can. Where is? Let me actually, because the final Jiren obviously cannot also be attack debuffed, right? Right at the end here. Yeah, no, you can't. But the Int Jiren should be able to, from what I'm recalling. Yeah, he can be attack debuffed, so that's cool there. This guy does disable dodge though, so you know, a lot of AGL Vegito's defense may come from the dodge. I mean, you could use him there and win for sure. But Best animation quality you've ever been on his. I can't speak. Okay, we'll end it here because I'm apparently I just can't speak anymore. The best animation quality has ever been is on his active. The glow, glitch, overall flow, impact frames that cannot be topped unless they work hard. This could, I could see that. It's a really good active skill, man. It is so raw. Same unit from different times. I mean, no, because this guy has consistency issues and this guy doesn't. In terms of like, if you're coming from an angle of, oh, this character was always underrated by the community, this character is also underrated. I blame Alan Dokkan. I don't know. I just blame Alan Dokkan. Anyways, one thing's here. I read a couple. How much is this? 45 minutes. Yeah, it's good enough. Let me know what y'all think. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.